So it looked like Paige Bueckers is finally getting a little reality check once again from the media because, ESPN just told it like it was. The best point guard under 25 is our girl, Caitlin Clark. Let's dive.
So ESPN today ranked the top 10 players under 25 based on ceiling. This isn't based on how good they are right now.
Okay, this is wild. ESPN just sent the entire internet into a full-blown meltdown. Caitlin Clark has officially been crowned the best WNBA player under 25, and I'm not talking most popular or big name. They said the best, seriously. The tiers on social media right now could fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. ESPN dropped their list of the top 25 under 25, and after a quick scroll, you can tell some fans are furious. Other players' stands are raging. But here's the thing, numbers don't lie, and Clark is sitting pretty at number 1. Do you think she deserves that top spot, or would you give it to someone else? Just let that sink in for a second. Caitlin Clark, only in her second year, already ranked the best WNBA player under 20. You've got hyped up names like Paige Bueckers, Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese, and Cameron Brink, all incredible talents. Yet, when ESPN put the list together, Clark takes the top spot. That's not just hype, folks. That's pure production, undeniable impact, and star power all rolled into one.
We got it right. They got it right, y'all. It's about time. Coming in at number 1, numero uno, the head honcho, the good.
But here's where it gets crazy. The haters are absolutely furious. They're screaming that she hasn't played enough games, or the league is totally overrating her, or it's all just some big marketing stunt. Seriously, it's pretty funny how none of those excuses explain why she's leading the entire league in attention, why ticket sales are breaking records, and why TV ratings are through the roof. On top of that, she's still putting up strong numbers on the court. You can't just blame ESPN for wanting eyeballs, that's too easy. The undeniable reality is, Caitlin Clark brings results, period.
Clark. Due to injuries, Caitlin Clark has been limited to 13 games this season, averaging 17 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. But when healthy, Clark's impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, picks apart defenses with her passing. The 23-year-old brings an unmatched excitement factory every time she's on the court, and her confidence spreads to the whole team. She's the biggest draw on the road of any WNBA player, so her effect on the entire league is huge. She is the league. She's not a needle mover. She is the needle. Okay.
Now, let me break this down for you. Even with injuries, Clark is averaging 16 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game in limited minutes. That's not just solid, that's elite level creation right there. 8 assists in a league where some guards barely crack 3. That's the definition of a floor general. And her shooting range? It stretches defenses out to the parking lot, completely changing the geometry of the game. When Clark steps onto the court, defenses flat out panic. And that's not just a stat, that's an effect. Compare that to Paige Bueckers, who landed at number 2. Paige is incredibly talented, no doubt. She's had a 40-point game, she's super efficient, and she carries herself like a star. But she's also missed significant time, and her numbers aren't as explosive as Clark's. What's even more insane is that her impact just doesn't ripple across the whole league the same way. Paige has fans, sure, but Clark, she changes entire markets. There's a massive difference.
Caitlin Clark's pick and roll mate coming in at number 3, the 6'5" center. Aaliyah Boston, I would take her over Angel Reese. I just think she's more talented and more skilled. Angel Reese does have a higher motor, but we talk about the size, the skill, the ability to pass the ball, pass out of double teams, play out of the short pick and roll, shoot the 3, shoot the mid-range, score with the left hand, right hand around the basket. I mean, Aaliyah Boston's a monster.
Then you've got Aaliyah Boston at number 3. Look, Boston is phenomenal, especially when she's aggressive. Fever fans know she's the absolute anchor in the paint. But here's the kicker, her presence just doesn't tilt defenses the way Clark's does. Boston is elite within her lane, absolutely, but her dominance often depends on guards getting her the ball in the right spots. Clark, on the other hand, creates her own plays, and then she creates plays for everyone else. That, my friends, is exactly why ESPN put her on top.
He's the whole cake. Caitlin Clark coming in at number 1 as the GOAT should. We're talking about 60 some odd records broken as a rookie, first team all WNBA, top 4 in MVP voting. Probably would have won MVP this year if she wouldn't have got hurt, but we'll win it next year. Don't worry about it. Caitlin Clark, number 1. Well deserved. I don't believe it's close. I don't believe there's anywhere. It should be Caitlin Clark like 1 through 5, and then we get to the next player. That's how I feel.
And get this, ESPN actually admitted in their own write-up that Clark's effect on the WNBA as a whole is absolutely unmatched. They straight up said she's the biggest road draw of any player ever. That's not me hyping her up. That's the league itself acknowledging reality. Wherever she goes, attendance skyrockets and opposing teams literally schedule promos around her games. That's not normal for a second-year pro. That's generational impact. But hold up. The salt levels online are through the roof. Scroll social media and you'll see Paige fans crying bias, Angel Reese fans screaming about double-doubles, and random accounts insisting Boston deserves it because she's more polished. Meanwhile, ESPN's article is crystal clear. Clark stretches defenses with her insane shooting, dictates the tempo of the game, and delivers highlight passes that completely energize her team. That, in plain language, is the best player under. Let's dive deeper into the Paige Bueckers situation though, because expectations really killed her case. Coming into the league, GMs told ESPN she'd be a Hall of Famer from day one. Talk about pressure. But then Clark shows up the year before, shatters records, leads Indiana to the playoffs, and makes national headlines every single night. Suddenly, Paige's solid rookie numbers don't look groundbreaking. They look almost ordinary compared to Clark's explosion. It's not Paige's fault, but that's the brutal reality of timing. Even ESPN's write-up acknowledged it. Paige is great, but Clark's rookie year reset the bar so incredibly high that it made Paige's own stellar start look smaller. That's wild, right? Usually rookies are measured against veterans, but now rookies are being measured against Caitlin Clark. That, folks, is what dominance truly looks like. As for Angel Reese at number 5, that feels about right. She's been productive, she's gritty, she rebounds like a machine, and she's definitely carved out her lane. But here's the thing, she's not changing defenses the way Clark does. No team is building a game plan just to stop Reese from 30 feet. With Clark, that's mandatory. Reese is valuable. Clark is unguardable. Cameron Brink's lower ranking is purely about injury. Healthy, she'd probably be top 5, but the league doesn't hand out what-if points. You have to show it on the floor. Same for players like Camila Cardoso, who has flashes of talent but isn't consistent enough for a higher spot. Clark, on the other hand, was consistent from day one, and that's what drives people crazy. She didn't need years to develop. She walked into the league and immediately shifted its entire economy. Ratings went up, ticket sales broke records, ESPN moved games to primetime, and now just 1 year later, they're ranking her above every under 25 star in the game. That's not favoritism, that's simple math. Boston fans might have the best gripe saying Indiana doesn't function without her, and it's true, Boston is absolutely essential. But here's the big catch, Boston needs Clark just as much as Clark needs Boston. Together, they form the Fever's foundation. Separate them, and Clark's skill set is just more unique. You can find good bigs out there, but you absolutely cannot find another guard with Clark's shooting range and passing vision. That's why she edges Boston. And let's not forget, Clark is still only in her second year. She is nowhere near peaking yet. This is just the beginning. If she's already number 1 now, where is she in 3 years? In 5? That's the scary part for everyone else on this list. They're hoping she plateaus, but all the evidence says she's still climbing. The funniest part of this whole ESPN ranking isn't even Clark being first, it's the absolute meltdown that followed. You'd think naming Caitlin Clark the best WNBA player under 25 was some kind of crime against humanity, judging by how fans of Paige Bueckers, Aaliyah Boston, and Angel Reese were reacting online. You'd swear ESPN just rigged the lottery. But here's the truth, Clark didn't earn this ranking because of hype alone. She earned it because her numbers and her impact are truly undeniable. Let's take it apart piece by piece. Start with her scoring ability. Caitlin Clark doesn't just shoot threes, she shoots threes from ranges that completely break defensive schemes. Other guards take a step behind the arc and call it deep. Clark pulls up from the logo like it's a free throw. That forces defenses to extend way past their comfort zone, and suddenly driving lanes open, passing windows appear, and her teammates absolutely benefit. That's not just good shooting, that's a player forcing the entire league to change how it defends. Now let's talk passing vision. ESPN pointed out her 8 assists per game. That number is nuts for a second-year pro, especially when you consider how much attention she gets. Defenders swarm her every single possession, yet she still finds a way to zip passes across the floor, hit rollers in stride, or drop dimes to corner shooters. Plenty of players can score, but very few can both score and create at such a high level. Clark does both, which is exactly why she's number 1. Then there's her rebounding. She's a guard averaging 5 boards. That doesn't sound crazy until you realize how often she's tracking long rebounds and starting fast breaks all on her own. That's 3 critical phases of the game: scoring, passing, and rebounding, where she's already producing at an elite level. And then you add her intangibles. She's the most confident player on the court every single night. That swagger isn't fake. Its teammates play harder, crowds get louder, and opponents get rattled. That's value you just can't measure on a stat sheet. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers fans are pointing to her efficiency. Yes, Paige has that mid-range game locked down. Yes, she's fundamentally smooth, but efficiency in the mid-range doesn't shift the entire sport. It's valuable, but it doesn't revolutionize. Clark's game is built to break systems, not just slide through them. That's why the ranking isn't even close. Paige is excellent, but Clark is truly transformational. Boston fans also have their argument, and honestly, they have a point. Boston is a monster when she's aggressive, already an all-star, and could definitely be MVP level down the line. But here's the crucial difference. Boston's dominance depends on her guard. She needs touches in the paint. She needs someone to set her up. Clark is the setup. She doesn't need anyone to spoon-feed her points. That's a level above. If you swapped Boston onto another team with weak guard play, her numbers would dip. If you swap Clark anywhere, her numbers hold because she controls the ball. Angel Reese fans, of course, are shouting about her double-double averages. Rebounding machine, energy player, relentless motor, but if you ask a coach which player they'd rather game plan against, the answer is obvious. You can game plan for a rebounder. You cannot game plan for someone who can pull up from 30 feet and drop 12 assists in the same game. Reese is tough. Clark is uncontainable. And let's not skip over Dominique Malonga, who ESPN praised as a teenager setting production records. She definitely has a crazy future, but future potential isn't present dominance. Clark is doing it right now. That's why you don't get ranked on what might happen in 5 years. You get ranked on today. And today, Caitlin Clark is the top under 25 star in the WNBA. What really makes the haters fume is her off-court impact. ESPN highlighted it directly. Clark is the biggest road draw of any WNBA player ever. That's not just under 25, folks. That's in league history. Teams sell out arenas just because she's in town. Ticket resellers mark up prices triple whenever she's on the schedule. Merchandise spikes. TV ratings jump. You simply cannot argue with those receipts, and they matter just as much as stats when we're talking about the best. Some fans complain that's not basketball, that's marketing. Wrong. That is basketball. Professional sports are about both production and draw. The league needs stars who can win and stars who can sell. Clark is both. She's a walking highlight reel and a business model. That combination is precisely why ESPN named her number 1. Now let's quickly look at the rest of the ranking. Boston at 3 feels a little low. Honestly, she's arguably been more impactful than Paige Bueckers, especially given how central she is to Indiana's interior defense. But the writers clearly wanted to elevate Paige's scoring efficiency. Fine, Boston still has plenty of time to move up. The reality is, Clark and Boston are a package deal in Indiana. One runs the floor, the other controls the paint. Without both, the Fever aren't sniffing the playoffs. Players like Sonia Citron, Cameron Brink, and Camila Cardoso being lower on the list makes total sense for now. They've shown flashes, but not the kind of takeover ability Clark has. That's the difference. Clark isn't a flash, she's a nightly event. Even when she has a bad game, she still finishes with a near double-double and 2 or 3 plays that go viral. That consistency is what truly separates her. And let's not forget, Clark is only 23. She's not even close to her prime yet. That's why this ranking is so painful for her critics. If she's already the best under 25, what happens when she hits 27 or 29? She could easily be the face of the league for a decade. ESPN naming her number 1 is just confirming what we've already known since Iowa. She's built different. The funniest reactions online are from people saying this is too soon. She literally led her team to the playoffs as a rookie, shattered records, broke attendance marks, got national broadcasts shifted to prime time, and she did all of this in year 1. Now in year 2, she's still producing even while dealing with injury. That's not too soon. That's right on time. Even the article admitted she brings an unmatched excitement factor every time she's on the court. That's the key. Players can be good without being exciting. They can be efficient without being must-watch. Clark is both. She's efficient enough to win and electric enough to matter. That's rare, and that's why she's at the absolute top. Meanwhile, the other names on the list are left battling for spot. Paige's fans can cry. Boston's fans can argue, Angels fans can shout, but the simple truth is, Clark has outperformed expectations faster and harder than anyone else. That's why she's number 1. The list isn't about feelings, it's about fact. And the undeniable fact is, Caitlin Clark in her second year in the WNBA is already the best under 25. So ESPN has made it official. Caitlin Clark is the best WNBA player under 20. The haters are still fuming, the stands are still arguing, but the numbers and her undeniable impact simply don't lie. Clark is legitimately changing the game, both on and off the court, and this ranking absolutely proves it. Do you agree with her at number 1? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdown videos like this.